So, welcome back to the TRT and Hormone Optimization YouTube channel. And we have back with us as a guest Dr. Jeffrey Ruterbusch. Welcome back, Jeffrey.
Well, thanks so much for having me back, Stephen.
You're very welcome. So, let's talk today about daily microdosing testosterone for TRT. So, you wrote me that you have some new experiences with it that you wanted to share.
Well, yes, throughout my practice, it's evolved. It's always evolving. And when you think about it, God doesn't have our testicles secrete testosterone once a week, twice a week, thrice a week. It's a daily, diurnal pattern. And so I got thinking about that. I said, well, let's try to mimic our daily physiological dosing as best as we can. So, and I'd heard about it. Some friends of mine were doing it. So every morning now, I have not only myself, but I have my patients now either do, it's a very small amount. Obviously, you're doing daily doses. Currently, my regimen now is 20 milligrams, which is 0.1 ml every morning. So that's 140 milligrams per week. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but even when I'm on 20 milligrams a week, now my trough, given that protocol, would be have my bloods drawn the morning before I did that 20 milligrams. Now, I've done that several times in the past year, and even at 140 milligrams per week, 20 milligrams per day, my testosterone is still greater than 1,500. Like I even tried, after I injected 20 milligrams one day, I waited 3 days where I got my labs drawn. I figured I'd trough out big time. I was still greater than 1,500. 3 days out after only 20 milligrams. So given that, I'm recommending all my patients do microdose. And I may sound like a nuisance, but tell you something. 0.1 ml, as you know, Stephen, is very, very small bit. It's just a little bit. So what I do is after I inject, and given that volume, you can do that IM or sub-Q. It's painless. But what I do is every time I inject myself, the very first thing I do is put my needle back into my testosterone, and rather than hold it, because it takes a while, it's syrupy and a very thin needle, but I don't hold it. I just go ahead and put it in. I have this old hydrogen peroxide bottle that has a great amount. I can put the needle and testosterone right in it, put it next to my sink while I'm brushing my teeth or washing my face or whatever. And actually 2 minutes, it's already filled up. So I just take it out, set it for the 0.1 ml, cap it off, so it's ready for the next day. My point is, yes, you have to do it more often, but given such a small volume, it doesn't take very long to get 0.1 ml drawn up. That's how we do it now, 20 milligrams a day. I've even had some people use 10 milligrams per day, and they're still greater than 1,200 2 days out. You remember, our body only naturally produces 4 to 7 milligrams per day. So if you take that range, 4 to 7, now the low end of that would be 4 times 7, 28 milligrams of testosterone per week. The high end would be 49. Somewhere between 28 and 49 milligrams per week is what our body produces naturally. So given that, 20 milligrams a day is still greater than that, but you have a little bit of weight there from the ester. But I just feel that microdosing, as close to mimicking our own God-given pulses, is the best way to go. And given that also, I don't have, everybody's worried about their estrogen. We still have to deal with that. I don't really measure anymore. But some of my patients come in and worry about their estrogen. I have found that microdosing, it doesn't really elevate estrogen enough to where people even are concerned about it. So I don't have to allay their fears about their estrogen causing them symptoms. So I have to worry about that. Not only that, but I don't have to worry about so much about SHBG anymore. Because if I'm mimicking our normal daily pulses, whether a guy's got a low SHBG or a higher SHBG, I don't have to worry about it. I'm just doing daily doses. So I'm just trying to mimic what God has done for us naturally. And given that, I feel like I'm doing the patient justice. I have to worry about supra physiological doses causing anything unusual. And
Mhm.
since I started that over a year ago for all my patients, the patients like it. I've had very few complaints about it. Everybody feels more dialed in. Um, and so not only are my total testosterones where I like them to be, but my free testosterones are where I think it should be, somewhere between 220 and 30 nanograms per deciliter. But I feel most of my men feel better if I get their free testosterone be 20 above 25, and sometimes 35 or 40, and
Mhm.
they're all dialed in at that. So microdosing, even though it's a little more cumbersome, it's really not once you get used to it. Um, Takes less time to do that than brushing your teeth. So I recommend to everybody. So all my patients now are microdosing, and they're much, much happier with it.
Mhm. But since you're dosing daily, does the ester still matter? Can you use propionate or do you still use
It doesn't
cypionate or
matter. I
enantate?
still use cypionate. You can use uh, propionate and anthate. So given the ester and the weight of the esters, I just find that I can use any. Some people even use the sustanon, which has 3 esters, I believe, and they're doing 20 milligrams of that, and they feel wonderful. I've had so few complaints other than, oh, doc, I gotta do it every day. But once they get used to it, it's so nominal. It's so effortless. And it's pain free.
Mhm. And all your patients are agreeing to do that daily? Do they also come from twice a week, three
I
times a week?
think they're all in agreement, but if I, you know, I talk to them about the basic physiology involved with it and how it's replicating God's normal pulses. Um, Many, I haven't gotten them all to convert to it yet, because some are happy on their twice a week dosing, or but I've gotten probably 80% of my patients now over time on the daily 20 milligrams or less of microdose.
Mhm. But how can that be mimicking the normal daily rhythm with these esters? They stay in your blood for a longer time, no?
Yeah, well, they do, and that's why I'm still working on it. That's why when I did my blood most recently, and I checked my blood levels 3 days out after 20 milligrams, it was still greater than 1,500.
Yeah.
But the bottom line, remember, I'm treating people, so I say, how you feel? I feel great. So I don't care what their numbers are. Um, I find the secondary erythrocytosis is much more easily managed on these smaller doses.
Mhm.
And that's another thing too. People don't hate donating blood. We know you don't have to, but it's good for you in the community to do so. I still donate blood, but every 4 months.
Are hematocrits lower doing daily dosing?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Now I still have some people still respond. Some people convert. Some people get a secondary erythrocytosis no matter what dose you use. But I still find out that on these smaller microdosing, daily microdosing, the amount of secondary erythrocytosis is greatly minimized.
We heard the drawbacks, we heard the many benefits, maybe, and also, yeah, I think you just must convince the man to start doing it daily, and once they experience it, they're going along with it.
Every patient that I've talked into converting from once a week, twice a week, thrice a week to daily, they've all told me that I've gotten great feedback. I've never
Mhm.
got such more positive feedback from remember, I've been doing this for over 40 years. So I've had a lot of feedback on all these protocols, but I've never had, in general, a greater positive feedback rate on a dosing technique with
Mhm.
both clients an outcome than this one.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing.